Justin Ford with Breezeway for being with me today to talk a little bit about safety. If you guys are joining from my group, New to Short-Term Rentals, Airbnb and Hosting, you will be very familiar with Justin, who we also call Mr. Safety. So
yeah, this arrived in the mail today from Alanna. I'm like, what the heck is this? Somebody sent me a t-shirt.
Well, you know, after we started talking last week and we were going to do the interview, the Q&A last week, I started looking on Amazon for a Mr. Safety t-shirt because I just really felt like I needed to just send you a thank you for doing this, but I also needed you to be recognized for who you are in this industry.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And I know I've talked to a lot of people too, that just for those that are here too, I know a lot of people are going to be watching this recording later. So it's great to have this recorded.
Yes, it will be wonderful. So Justin, why don't you just kick this off by telling us a little bit about you and your background and how you got to the position that you're in today with being a safety advocate in the vacation rental industry.
Yeah, you know, when you look back, it was kind of a perfect storm, but that is really where it led me to where I am now. I was in the U.S. Coast Guard, and not a lot of people are aware, but we've got Coast Guard cutters off the U.S. coast, East Coast, West Coast, and all over. And not only are they looking for drug runners and saving people, but they actually do safety inspections. And that's what I did for 4 years. We did safety inspections on fishing vessels. And they're pretty intensive to go through and make sure you'd pull up and do that. So I had a background already in safety and was a boat captain after I got out of the Coast Guard. And it's interesting, I started a boat rental business. So I came into the vacation rental industry different. I delivered a boat to a house way back in 1996. Delivered a boat to this house, and I said, so do you guys live here? And they're like, no, we're renting it. And I went, well, that's kind of cool. So that was my introduction long before Airbnb existed, that there was vacation rentals and people renting homes. And so I got into the business by starting out as a boat rental business and then adding on vacation homes. And I grew that to the largest property management company in the Northeast. And along the way, you know, some people in their hometown become a member of the school board. Some people crossing guard volunteers. I joined the fire department. So when it was all said and done by 2014, you know, I had over 15 years of property management experience. I had my background in safety and I was a firefighter. And unfortunately, a terrible incident happened in one of my short-term rentals that permanently disabled a nice woman. It was a preventable safety accident, and I was in 6 months of denial before I realized this is what it was and that it was on me to fix it. And at the same time, the state that I was in decided to put some regulations in place against vacation rentals, and we realized, holy smokes, you know, who's against us? It's the hotels and inns, and they were paying. Some of these hotels and inns are paying $5,000, $10,000 a year to have safety inspections done by the government, to make sure their pools are safe, that the emergency lighting's in place, fire hoses, fire extinguishers. And they're looking over to short-term rental going, that guy can just throw his place up on Airbnb and doesn't have to do anything. So we created a short-term rental safety list that basically satisfied the government that said, if you guys are going to do this and you're doing it on your own, then we're happy and you're happy. And it's just exploded from there. Here I am today.
That's great. I mean, you have the most amazing background, and it's so nice that you put all those pieces together and were able to do something in this industry that truly is life-changing. I will say that it's the one thing, safety, that my time in this industry just really hasn't been at the forefront. And I worked for a large institution, an insurance company, for a long time as an asset manager in commercial real estate. And really, I was a risk manager, right? And, you know, watching out for our liabilities, and, you know, safety was a huge part of that. So the minute I learned about you, it was just, you know, you were the one person that I wanted to be in my group. And I just can't thank you enough, because you're always pointing out and creating such wonderful examples for the group. And I know that although it may not seem like it, I know that these people are taking your advice and really implementing some best practices. So I just want to thank you so much from me, and then also from the larger group. A lot of them wanted to be here today, but I'm sure a lot of them will also join in watching the videos.
You know, the great thing about where we're at today with the safety, what I'm doing isn't just happening in the US. In fact, we have just as many people involved now in Canada and down in the Caribbean, and a huge contingent in Australia and England. So what I'm doing with this message is really quite international now. And it's at the point where weekly I'm getting calls and messages from somebody who's just anybody here in this group or watching the recording. It says they watched this and they went in and they didn't know about this. They did something and oh my gosh, it prevented an accident. And I had one this morning that it's really what it's all about for me. I had one this morning from a vacation rental down in Texas where they had never had carbon monoxide alarms in their Airbnb. And after listening to some of the stuff that I did, they put them in and the actual alarms did go off. They had an incident 2 days ago and it saved people's lives. So that's the biggest reward for me in all this.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that is amazing. So yeah, without further ado, I will go through the list of questions that I put together. But I want to say to the group who's watching this is a short list of questions. So don't leave it at just this list of 10 or 12 questions that, Justin and I are going to get through today, because safety is so much more comprehensive than just these things that we're going to talk about. So I really encourage you guys to take the certification, and maybe Justin, you can talk to us a little bit more about that. And then secondly, I did an course that Justin has put together to become a safety inspector. So I don't plan on becoming a safety inspector, but I asked him if I could take it just because I was really curious. And I can't tell you guys how much I learned from that. I mean, obviously, I was always really sensitive to safety based on my background, but this just took it to a whole new level. And it really opened up my eyes on all the other small things that are out there that a lot of people are doing every day. So I'll just give one example of that, but that was extension cords in the one section in your course where you talked a little bit about extension cords. How many people have extension cords in their properties? So anyways, I'll leave it at that. You don't have to touch on that right now, but if you could touch on the safety certification and then also the course for inspectors, just in case anybody's interested in pursuing it further.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And just so everybody knows, anybody who's on this or watches the recording, we'll have a link afterwards. I'm going to give everybody their own free self-assessment certification that they can do using the Breezeway app. We're just trying to get the message out there at Breezeway right now. The more and more people that get their properties inspected, the better this is going to be for our industry. And it's nice that people can use our app for free to do that and learn also a little bit more about what Breezeway's software platform does for cleaning and inspections and maintenance of your rental. But the main core is we'll give you free access for a self-assessment safety certification. And that's what our core business is in our safety division at Breezeway, is doing safety assessments. We've developed a checklist. You mentioned Darren from Proper Insurance. We have a great relationship with Proper Insurance. They actually give a discount on premium for people who go through our self-assessment and get their house committed to safety. We're trying to reduce the accidents that are out there right now. And so we've gone not only with Proper Insurance, but through other insurance companies, looking in the press, looking in the media, seeing what accidents are happening, and then also looked at all the laws and international building codes out there and developed this comprehensive checklist. And I'd like to tell people, if you go through this checklist and set your rental up the right way, the only reason a renter is going to get injured is if they tie their shoelaces together and trip over themselves. And that's really what you want. The most interesting thing that I'll tell you, and should be a wake-up call to everybody, is our top clients that go through the safety certifications are people that you see about in the news every day, high-profile people that are renting out their homes. And I'm talking about hosts that are on HGTV that have TV shows that now think it's the thing to do. Is you also have an Airbnb. And there are a lot of celebrities that have Airbnbs. There's a lot of high profile famous people that own rental properties. They're our top customer because they want their houses inspected, because they know that people are coming in there and hoping to trip and fall and get hurt in their rental properties and getting big payouts and claims. And on the other side of that is that when you Google search vacation rental accident, and do that after this, but Google it, trust me, there's hundreds of pages that come up right now from lawyers that want to sign up your guests your clients that have been injured. That's the new thing in ambulance chasing, is to find people injured in a short-term rental because the payouts are big on it. You should know now. Airbnb's been around for over 10 years. Vacation rentals really have been around for over 100 years. But you should know this, not just because I'm telling you. You should know that your rental needs to be safe. And if it's not, you're going to get in trouble.
Great. Okay. And then just touch really quickly on the inspector course.
So the inspector course is something that we're doing. It's primarily for property management companies, but anybody can do it. I know you did it, and I see Tyann up there has done it. I know Audrey Miller, who's on here with us, is signing up to do it. So there's a lot of people that are signing up for this course. There's people who are just fighting regulations in their own community that are signing up for the course, so they can go in and speak to county officials or city officials about it. But you can make a lifestyle out of it. We have residential building inspectors, so it's about a 4 to 5 hour online course. When you're done, we certify you as a short-term rental safety inspector. You get a badge, you get a certificate. If you want to go charge $200 to your neighbor to inspect their property and certify it as safe through our program, you can make some money. If you just want to have that extra knowledge, like I think you do, Alanna, just so you have a better knowledge of the industry and things that you can do to ensure that things are safe and help out other people, you can do that as well. And I'm happy to set anybody up with that course who's interested. It's a $500 course, but I've got some wink, some ways around that I can help somebody out with.